will be watching Casual Geography thanks to your votes.
This video was brought to you by pure spite.
What? Don't be suspicious. She's hunting her. Oh. She's safe, I think. Hopefully.
On a scale from 1 to 10, my friend, you're
This video exists for one reason, and it's because of an argument I got into with one of my friends, and even though we technically settled it in the end, I'm still tight it even got to that point.
That's
and
so
if
mean.
this dress proved anything, it's that even the most intelligent forms of life in the world, or even the universe, can have the stupidest hills to die on. So because of that, and because of a certain comment I'm really tired of getting, I decided to take a 2-for-1 special on birds, with the one being a stone, and by stone, I of course mean YouTube video. But first, a word from our there's no sponsors, but can we just agree that this thing is obviously white and gold? Like, y'all really be lying unprovoked for no reason.
White and gold version.
And speaking of color causing controversy, no racial, Black Panthers aren't real. They don't exist, and I very nearly lost a close friend because of it. Melanism's a mutation that causes the production of melanin.
Is it not real? Isn't it just a different color from a leopard or something? And it still has the spots. You just can't see it that much.
To go into overdrive, leading to basically a real-life shadow clone shiny Pokemon.
Oh,
a Black
like
Panther
a shadow.
is really just a leopard or jaguar with the same revitaligo Uncle Ruckus got. And because the gene that causes it is dominant in one cat but recessive in the other, most Black Panthers are just jaguars with extra tint. That's how a funeral colorway cat can birth a black and yellow remix. And vice versa.
Okay.
So Black Panther isn't really an animal, it's a description. It's a panther that's black.
That's
and I wish it ended there, but if it did, this video wouldn't exist. Because this is a Black Panther. But this is also a Black Panther.
Do you call that a Black Panther too? It looks like a tiger.
Wouldn't you know, there goes a Blue Panther. Since Black Panther just describes a mutation, black ain't the only color on the panther palette. Leucism is like the sun-bleached cousin of melanism, so even though it sounds like a colonizer response to Wakanda, you can call both of these White Panthers. The Maltese tiger is an alleged variant of the South China variety. It's not for sure that they exist, but if they do, they technically be Blue Panthers. By now, I'm thinking at least one person's commented, what about the Pink Panther? About that, erythrism is the red-headed
dun dun da da dun dun da dun. Is it the correct song? Hey, I thought Black Panthers is mostly leopards and jaguars. But apparently tigers too. Maybe one day we'll see a Pink Panther, you know?
middle child of mutations, and one of the results of it is the ultra-rare strawberry-flavored leopard, or what.
This really reminds me of breeding in games. You can breed this cow and that cow to get a pink-colored cow. But of course, it happens in real life. I know some people gonna be saying, oh god, this girl only knows her knowledge through games. Well, yeah, because we don't really see these things in real life, you know. Unless it's one of the stray cats outside, so who knows, I'll find a pink color stray cat.
One could say, a Pink Panther. I can go on, but you see what I'm getting at, right? And at this point, you're probably asking, what even is a panther? The answer, well, the simplest one is that panther is just another word for big cat. It'd be simple if it wasn't for one big, pun intended, problem. Here we have two cats. Cat A is an average of 130 to 140 pounds, stands 2 to 3 feet tall at the shoulders, and they max out about, let's say, 220. The average Cat B weighs in at a little over 100 pounds on a good day, just over 2 feet tall, and the biggest ones you'll ever see are pushing 120. But since the world of cats is honestly as defined as they are, only one of these is a big cat. And it's not Cat A. And now you're probably questioning what big cat even means. And I'm so glad you asked, because now we get to meet him. The Big Cat Club is made of the Panthera, or, you know, the panther genus. There's technically 5 members, and the first is the leopard. The leopard is the pound-for-pound champion of big cats. And what would happen if Spider-Man changed careers and paid rent as a hitman? You won't find 5 animals more disrespectfully athletic than the leopard. There's not a single situation where a 360 backflip no-scope is required to murk a monkey. But that's just leopards. They're by far the best climbers of big cats. And to avoid getting food taxed by lions and hyenas, they'll manhandle their prey up into the trees off the muscle. Straight jaw work. No gym, but look at that deadlift. And yeah, that is a rhino. Yeah, that is a giraffe. Leopards can also stalk their prey from the trees and fall out the sky for smoke like Batman about to cripple a jaywalker. This assault squirrel on steroids is the reason why a sign like this even exists. Not just because an Olympic gymnast
Falling
level cereal
deer.
float can get airdropped to the back of your neck, but also because you can legitimately get life deprived by a leopard's leftovers. Leopards are by far the most versatile big cat, which is why they have the widest range. Just don't let Baboon Gang know, because that beef is anything but rare.
Geez, baboons, man. When there's a lot of them, it's seriously a menace. Much like those gangster groups that demands protection fees. I read the news that baboons even broke into people's houses and swung a knife in Africa. Which reminds me, I went to a friend's dorm room in university last time. When we opened the door, it's not a baboon by the way, but a monkey, a macaque. It was sitting by the window and sipping her soybean milk. Those box soybean milk? Yeah. It was sipping on it so smugly with a straw. My friend forever remembered to shut the windows after that. Yeah, we have a lot of monkeys here, depending on the location, of course. You don't see monkeys in the city where I live, but our university was surrounded by greenery and trees, so yeah, lots of monkeys. And it's also by the sea. Yeah, you can visit the sea in my university, haha. And we have a big aquarium you can visit. I don't know if the aquarium is still pretty though, I hope it is. Anyways, I went on a tangent, but continue with the cats.
Be the beginning of Baboon Gang know, because that beef is anything but rare. Next are snow leopards, and this is going to be the beginning of many cat contradictions. Snow leopards
Why?
aren't even leopards. Genetically, Tai Lung would have been closer to tigress, and that's a shame because missing out on the name cliff tiger is a fumble. It's a scientifically proven fact that cats are whores for elevated surfaces. So the mountain tiger lives in God's attic in the Himalayas. So it's a good thing they either have zero fall damage or anime plot armor stronger than vibranium. Yeah, he survived this. It also gets cold up there, so the same tail they use for balance can also be used as a DIY scarf. I encourage you to go down the rabbit hole of snow leopards using their tails as security blankets. It'll make you feel as warm as they do. They've been nicknamed Ghost of the Mountains due to how far they've gone to social distance from humanity. But with how
I did not see that.
They've been nicknamed Ghost of the Mountains
Maybe
due
it's
to how
the
far they've gone to
subtitles.
social
But
distance from humanity. But with how dirty we've done their closest cousin, I don't blame them. The actual tiger is like the Chuck Norris of cats because some of the facts about them, you'd swear they were a cryptid if they weren't on camera.
Oh, this one?
Facts like their
This
legs
video.
being so built, tigers can stand even after they fully pass tense. Or that the infrasound in their roar can temporarily paralyze prey. How about the fact that they're one of the most vengeful things on the planet, with one tiger crossing off 436 names off the census after she got crossed by one? How about the fact that the reason tigers are orange in the first place is because the animals on their grocery list are completely Helen Keller to the color. Meaning, if you're a deer, this is what the biggest cat in the world looks like. It's also why a tiger's stripes run
Into the skin. Wow, yeah.
skin deep. And out of all cats, tigers have by far the highest human body count. And that's mostly because
So
of how
dangerous.
close they live to humans. And I don't just mean in India. There's more tigers in America than in the rest of the world combined.
Wait,
This
what?
one's
Huh? You have tigers walking around? Bro. And you guys don't have fences. That always ticks me.
This one's in Houston, but we've also screwed them more than any other cat. Most white tigers are literally a product of incest for human interest. Then you got probably the most famous big cat of all,
Damn.
the lion. They're the only ones that weaponize the power of friendship, which is why lions have the most impressive meal plan of any cat. Anything short of a full-grown elephant can get packed up by the pride. Not even elephants in general get immunity. But going for the high-risk, high-reward prey means lions also get bodied religiously. And not just in Detroit. Arguably the biggest danger to a lion is their own ambition. But together, probably nothing's more impressive and makes you want to evacuate your bowels more than a pride of lions. And even with Hollywood dubbing over their roar with the tigers, it's because a lion's roar is designed to be heard and tell anyone within a 5-mile radius that if they plan to f*** around, best make time to find out. And
That's one big vocal cord. And is it lions? But I read like one of the big cats slept around 20 hours a day. Only awake for 4 hours, damn.
lastly is my personal favorite of the cats, the jaguar. Easily the one-punch man of meat eaters, thanks to the pound-for-pound strongest jaws on a cat, and also their habit of taking Thanos' advice and going for the head. The endgame there is a cousin of the crocodile getting its wig busted by an all-terrain aquatic vice grip. It takes a lot to make a capybara feel anything that isn't apathy. Jaguars are also OP enough to hit a lick on a sea turtle. I don't know if this makes sense, but jaguars are the tiger sharks of big cats. Their name translates to he who kills with one leap. Because when this leopard on steroids gets active, the senses
Jaguar have the strongest bite force? I think It is the jaguar, right?
Undergo subtractions. And I don't want to gloss over the fact that they're also the best swimmers of big cats. Although the Bengal tiger would probably like to have a word. Jaguars will often chew on yaji vines and get absolutely obliterated. That has nothing to do with this video, but it's by far my favorite fact about them. So those are the 5 members of the Panthera genus.
Well, I'm guessing it's not a catnip or anything because it's a vine. Maybe they got a stomach problem or something.
Are my favorite fact about them. So those are the
cute.
5 members of the Panthera genus, which makes them all Panthers. Whole time, Jacksonville and Carolina flex the same mascot, which means any one of these cats being black would make it a Black Panther. Yes, even this. Now you might think that's where it ends, but call me Billy Mays, because wait, there's more. Remember this? Well, Cat B is a male snow leopard, and Cat A is a mountain lion. The cat world is really just a bunch of rules and cats that break the rules, because not only is a cat bigger than a big cat, somehow not a big cat, the cat 99% of people, including Google, think of when they hear panther isn't actually a panther. What the fuck? Well, as mentioned, cougars don't sit at the big cat lunch table, and it has nothing to do with weight class.
So confusing.
Most experts agree that the defining trait of a big cat is a modified bone in the throat called the hyoid that gives the cat the ability to roar. So the rule of thumb is, if it roars, it's a big cat, and if it purrs, it's a little cat. Big quotes on the little.
Okay.
Now I
just need to assert the dominance, then you are qualified as a big cat. If you can't assert dominance, you can't roar. You just meow. You're not a big cat, you're a baby cat.
gotta immediately break that rule, because snow leopards, the big cat that's already on thin ice for not even being a leopard, also can't roar. What?
No.
Actually, it's gonna get old if I keep doing this, so you know what? I'm just gonna use Soldier Boy. Huh? Instead, they sound like if Lion King showed Simba's awkward teen phase.
Cute. I mean, that's a roar.
So recap, with
what
cats,
do you
there's
mean?
big cats.
That's the most giga chat roar I've ever heard of.
So recap, with cats, there's big cats and little cats, or more specifically, panthers and felines. Panthers from the Panthera genus and felines from the Felinae subfamily. You see, now I always thought feline referred to anything cat, but by this logic, lions, tigers, and the rest of the big cats technically aren't felines. So any cat's either gonna be a big cat pushing P, P being panther, or a little cat from family feline. And now I gotta break that rule, cause this cat isn't either. The clouded leopard isn't a big cat or a little cat. You're probably gonna ask, well, do they roar or purr?
But it's a
No.
leopard.
Yeah, clouded leopards do neither, and they're considered the bridge between big cats and not big cats. They're also considered a modern day saber tooth. Not literally, but because of having the most disrespectful dental of any cat relative to size. Speaking of size, I grew up thinking they were way bigger, but that's honestly because the first time I heard of one, it was trying to murk the Rugrats. Also, the clouded leopard isn't an actual leopard, and we can hold the Soldier Boy because at this point we ain't even surprised. But yeah, other than them, cats are either big cats or not big cats. Which brings us to the cougar, who, despite being the most associated with the name, isn't even a type of panther. They're actually more related to your pet cat than to an actual lion. The confusion is because mountain lions can be found.
One of the videos I saw before, a cougar literally screamed like a lady.
Anywhere from your pet cat than to an actual lion. The confusion is because mountain lions can be found anywhere from the Yukon to the very tip of South America. Being found in a lot of places means they've gotten a lot of names like puma, cougar. Yeah, I've never heard of catamount, but also panther. I mean, think about it. They're called mountain lions, but share area codes with jaguars. And also, they don't roar. Instead, they sound like a woman becoming a notch on Ted Bundy's belt. Basically, cougars prove that you might be a big cat, but you're not a big cat. This roided up identity crisis might go by many names, but they catamount to a panther. And now that we've addressed that, we can address the second reason I'm making this video.
Cheetahs and cats too. Cheetahs can't roar. Aww.
I am weary. Yeah, cheetahs aren't big cats, and not only is it Avengers level conflict in my comments whenever I say otherwise, this was another argument me and my friends got into. But cheetahs are in subfamily Felinae, which makes them felines, which makes them not big cats. Also, they can't roar. The best they can do is arouse a party of bird watchers. Now you see why cheetahs get religiously bullied. It's basically an overgrown house cat competing with units. I've always said that the cheetah's biggest downfall was investing everything into speed, but honestly, evolving to run away from their problems was the best they could do. And I love cheetahs, but it's clear they took the cut way too far. Like I said, if you can get victimized by vultures, You messed up.
The
In their
poor
defense, male cheetahs will
thing.
form coalitions to tackle life head on. But cheetahs are still the most underappreciated single moms in nature.
Aww.
There's a lot more other little cats, and some you've never heard of. Like, you want to know what's the closest relative of the mountain lion? You'll never guess it. Here's an ad while you guess it. It's the jaguarundi. So the cat named after a jaguar is most related to a cat named after a lion, even though neither of them are related to either of those. Its name means dark jaguar, even though it looks like a UFO. Unidentified feline otter, which is actually another name they have,
Aw,
and
yep.
they do not look happy about it. But nothing has more of an attitude aesthetic than Palace's cat. The cat that looks like
Wait, let me laugh for a while. Oh my god, what is all these memes? It's such a good meme-worthy face. It just looks like it's so tired of life. Or just speechless.
about it. But nothing has more of an attitude aesthetic than Palace's cat. The
This
cat that
one's
looks
so
like the furry
angry.
epitome of shit ain't funny. But if nature wanted me to take them seriously, it shouldn't have had them
It's
built
so
like an ice-chilled
cute.
glacial Garfield. Like snow leopards, they'll also use their tails to stay warm. Except with the Palace, that means standing on their tails to keep their paws toasty. You're not beating the adorable
Damn.
allegations, buddy. Now, they're still wild animals, so no,
So
you can't have
cute.
them as a pet. Or
No,
I guess
why
anything can be a
not?
pet until it rips your face off. But if
Why
it means
not?
anything, you can adopt a Siberian forest cat. Because it's honestly the closest you're gonna get.
This
But yeah,
one's so
that's
pretty.
The aggro kitty. To be fair, you'd be pissed 7 ways to Sunday if you googled ugly-eared cat and your face came
Hey.
up. Now we've got the
Oh,
bobcat,
there.
and I'm gonna be honest, I could never really tell the difference between them and a lynx. But it turns out this whole time, a bobcat is a lynx.
Oh.
Or at least a type of it. The lynx is a cat with many faces, with 4 species of them in circulation. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here either.
Look at this one. This one over here looks like my school photo.
In circulation. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here either. The Canada lynx is the most memorable, if for no reason but the fact that they remind me of that one Proud Family episode. And the only thing
Oh.
goofier than their paws
Oh.
is how they settle disputes.
Like woman fighting.
And the lynx of the desert would have to be the caracal. 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 Or you might know him by his stage name, Floppa. Their defining trait is being one of the few
Floppa.
creatures alive with an ear mullet. I say
I think I have a notebook with this cat on it.
one of the few creatures
I remember
alive
the
with an
ears.
ear mullet. I say few because a river pig stole their entire flow. I can't really tell you for sure, but many believe that they use these ear tufts to catfish birds by pretending to be insects. Others say twitching the tufts is how caracals talk to each other. Also, they have what's
Aw.
scientifically known as stupid bounce. They're a popular pet, which I don't really get because every video I see looks like a cat prepared to catch a charge. Turns out
I
hissing
know.
is just how they communicate. They can hiss at you and be perfectly happy like only nature's tsundere can. A close cousin of the caracal is the serval, and for them, all I gotta say is gravity is pretty much an option, especially since a bunch of their calories come from life-retiring birds mid-air. Pogo Kitty can launch itself 13 feet, and if you're like me with no concept of distance, here's another video. Stupid, right? So we have cats
Wow.
in jungles, cats in deserts, cats in mountains, and now
This one's so
cats in
cute.
air. So what's next? Like cats in water?
Yeah.
This
Do we have
is a
catfish?
fishing cat, not to be confused with the
Oh, okay.
fisher cat, which, wouldn't you know, isn't even a cat. It's pretty obvious where the fishing cat got its name, and it's one of the few cats that will 100% run your fade in water. And now we got the cats that you could put in a pet store and nobody would even blink. And this is the smallest cat of all, with the rusty spotted cat able to sleep comfortably in your hand. And yeah, that's not a kitten, that's a grown man with bills to pay. Not much bigger is the Blackfoot.
That's a grown man with bills to pay. I like that quote so
AKA
much.
the deadliest cat on the planet.
What do you mean? It's so cute. And you can't argue with that. Look at it. Look at its cute eyes. Look at its a tongue that's about to numb your fingers the next second.
They have the highest hunting success rate of any cat at 60%, and while hunting, they'll catch a body pretty much
Wow.
every hour on the hour just to stay alive. And they're the reason I could never be a cameraman. No shot I could see this and be expected to be professional, ain't no way. Yeah, looking real fierce,
no
buddy.
way.
My timbers are shivered. Same thing with Joffrey's cat, a vicious, cold-blooded predator that only weighs at most 10 pounds. And at this
That's
point,
so
you're probably
cute.
wondering just how many cats are in South America. Well, here's 3 more. The
Why do you
codcod,
guys have
the
a lot of
margay, and
cats?
the ocelot. I put them together because they look like 3 stages of the same Pokemon. And here you have the Andean mountain cat, which is endangered of being too damn adorable. Aww.
Aww.
Nah, but like for real, they are dying though. Speaking of which, we got the cats
No.
that are so rare. There's barely any videos of them I could use. There's the Borneo Bay cat, or just Bay cat for short. The marbled cat. Another one who could have lived anywhere, but instead chose the foothill forests of the Himalayas. You got the elusive
Damn.
Asian golden cat, and of course the African golden cat. Can you tell I'm running out of things to say? There's just that many cats, and you can see exactly where we got tired of naming them. For example, this is a wildcat. Yeah, that's their name, because when a name
Yeah, in Malaysia, we do have wild cats, except for the bigger ones like leopard and Malayan tiger. Most common wildcat you can find is the leopard cat, but mostly they are all protected species, regardless. Fun fact, Malayan tiger are only found in the west part of Malaysia, unless someone did an oopsie and released it in East Malaysia, but yeah, mostly in West Malaysia. Other than that, we East Malaysian people can only see those in zoos. In the zoo. We have our own big cat here, the Bornean clouded leopard. Now that took me a few tries to say the name correctly.
Yeah, that's their name. Because when a naming guy rage quits and you're left with his intern, this is the quality of work you get. This is a sand cat. It's like a feline fennec fox that runs fades with venomous snakes for fun. 2 out of 10 name, but at least they live in the sand. This is a jungle cat. Guess where they don't live? I'm not even gonna put the soldier boy this time. Are y'all trying to piss me off? Yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Not because I named every type of cat. There's like 40 of them. I'm just cutting it now. But yeah, this video was kind of
There's
just
a
an
lot.
excuse for me to talk about the cats of the world, so consider it a late Christmas gift. Friendly reminder that I am selling a calendar, link in description if you're interested. But anyway, make sure you drink water, cherish your loved ones. Thank you for the support in 2023, like for real. Shout out to my friends for inspiring and irritating me at the same time. And I'ma see
A
y'all
panther.
in the next year.
A black panther. My